Hey everyone, I'm back to do another $500 strap search. I'm going to start off this week by saying a very simple tip for all of you guys to do. When you're at the bank, just remember, be nice. Be nice to the tellers. When you're nice to the tellers, they remember you. You know, if you smile, if you make them laugh, if you treat them like human beings instead of like servants, they're going to remember who you are, and they're going to want to be nice back to you. Remember, you're asking them essentially for a favor. You're asking them to go back and get a bunch of stuff out of storage, a bunch of singles like we've got here, and sell them to you, and then probably take them back from you a few days later. So yeah, we can be kind of a pain as collectors. So that's why it's so important for us to be nice. Treat everybody you encounter at the banks the way you'd want to be treated, and it'll be returned to you in spades. I can't thank the tellers enough that helped me with my collection. I've even gone out of my way to buy some of them lunch, buy pizzas for everybody at the bank and stuff, just to show my appreciation. So, like I said, this week's tip: be nice. They're helping you, and in turn, maybe they'll help you more than you'll realize financially. All right, so these were the 5 straps. Well, 4 full straps and 2 half straps. These are the 500. Went through those. Let's take a look and see what we've got this week. Really good pull. Really good pull this week. You can see how many that we've got here. So I'll probably be going through these rather quickly. Found a couple trinaries. This one is 2s, 4s, and 5s. Another trinary, 0, 1s, and 8s. That just looks neat, the way that one comes out. Another one, 0s, 7s, and 9s. Only if that 1 and 9 there was a 7. Lots of stars. Crisp star note here, fairly low number. I found a bunch of higher number star notes as well, which is unusual. Usually star notes are printed in batches of 3.2 million. This one is number 11 million, so the 3.2 million batch had to be run at least 4 times. So I'm not sure that this one is going to be worth a whole lot with a number that high. Doesn't change the fact, though, that it's a star note. I will still pull it aside and make sure, because the last run could be a short run. Another star, crisp star note right here. Another one, extremely high number for a star note, starting with 26, extremely high. 27, numbers keep getting higher. 2744, 1938. Did find one really low number star, and it's also from Boston, an A note, so I don't get a whole lot of A notes, but I like seeing star notes that start off 00. That always has potential. Some of the older bills I found, this one here is from 1999. 1999 there. Not in the greatest shape. Found a 1995. Remember, when you find 1988A, 1993, and 1995 notes, you want to check right here to make sure that it does have a letter. If it only has that tiny little number there, then it's a web press note, and that's an experimental note. So that's what you're looking for on the older notes like this. I did manage to find an 88A. Zoom in on that one there, 1988A, but it's got the Fort Worth mark and the F, so not a web press. Web fed note, whatever. Did find a number of birthday notes as well. 1904, this would be February 27th, 1904. This birthday / anniversary note would be July 17th, 1944. And then I found 2 of these. I don't think I've found one of these on camera yet. And in this batch I found 2. Notice that it has 5 4s in a row. 5 of them. Normally I find quads all the time, but to find 5 in a row, that's a lot more rare. And then to back it up, I found one with 5 5s. And this one's actually, except for the crease in the middle, is fairly crisp. So 2 5-baggers, I guess you could say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 5s. Now, The other interesting note that I found in this batch, I decided to put in a sleeve, and this is definitely going to go in my safety deposit box. Not this one here, this one. Looks like your standard note, regular plain old $1 bill. Probably been circulated, not too heavily, but I mean, you've probably had a note like this in your hand at some time. I hate the fact that this corner is this way, but that doesn't change why I'm saving this note. Let me tell you a little bit about how notes are printed. On the one side, the back of the note, they use only one color ink. They use green ink, so they do one printing, and that's the printing that you're going to find on the back. The only distinguishing marks on the back is right here. This little number right here, that's the plate number. And other than that, that's all you're going to find on the back of the bill. However, there's all kinds of stuff going on the front of the note. Every single $1 bill obviously has the picture of George Washington, obviously has the ones, the United States, this border, all of that is on every single $1 bill. And all of that is printed at the same time. But then they use a second color of ink on the serial number and on the reserve stamp here, the Federal Reserve stamp. So that means that they have to print a second time. So they get one printing for the border and the picture. Then they do a second printing that has the actual number. And then they have to do a third printing because there are a total of 12 different Federal Reserve branches. 1 through 12, A through L is how they are numbered. This particular one has an L, so that's San Francisco. And another security point that they make on these bills is to tell you that since L is the 12th letter in the alphabet, they will put 12 in all 4 of these corners. So that's some of the numbers that you see on a bill. But like I said, you've got the president and the border as your initial print. You have the serial number in green as a second print. And then when it comes to the Federal Reserve itself, you get the Federal Reserve seal with the letter and these 4 numbers on the third print. What makes this bill special is on the third printing, I don't know if I can get enough light on that, this is smudged. The L is completely smudged. There is a ring around the seal, and you'll find that same effect also surrounding the 12 here, and the 12 here, and on both of these 12s. If I saw a smudge just here, and these were crisp, I'd say that that was dirt. Or if I saw the 12 here with a smudge, and this is all clean, and all the other 12s, I'd say it was probably dirt. But knowing that this L and all these 12s on both sides were all printed at the same time, and all of them have that exact same fuzzy look to it, to me that tells me that this was definitely a printing error. So I have an ink smudge note that I pulled from circulation. Ink smudges vary depending on value, depending on how much of a smudge there is. I'm not going to put a price figure on this particular one because that's not what I do. I simply point out things that you can find in circulation. But with an ink smudge like this, I'm definitely going to be holding on to this one, and I'll be adding it to my error collection. I'll bring out some of my other errors in the future, but once again, finding this particular error in circulation, it's one of the few that I've ever found. Just showing in comparison, here's a non-smudged number. Let's see if I can get that to zoom in right. There we go. And in comparison, so you can definitely see the two. One's smudged, one's not smudged. This happens to be the other error note that I found while hunting out. You can see how the serial number is so close to the edge right there. So that's a slight offset print. but not quite as dramatic as my ink smudge. So there you have it, guys. That's this week's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.